I'm Juliet Harris, Director of Together, Scottish Alliance for Children's Rights. I'm here to talk to you about the steps you can take to implement child rights budgeting in your work or organisation. Child rights budgeting means taking children's rights into account when making decisions about spending money or allocating resources. The aim of child rights budgeting is to enable the realisation of rights for all children. It exists alongside several other mutually reinforcing budget frameworks, such as gender budgeting and participatory budgeting. Child rights budgeting is not only about considering children's rights when making decisions, but also embedding human rights standards into the process through which these decisions are reached. These principles include participation, non-discrimination, transparency, and accountability. This means children, young people, and their families should be included in identifying the changes needed to secure their rights. And decision makers should target resources towards these issues as far as possible. To help us understand how to integrate child rights budgeting into our work, it's worth looking at the UN Committee's General Comment 19. General Comment 19 offers comprehensive guidance on how public budgets should be structured to further children's rights. It sets out the need to use maximum available resources to realise children's rights and highlights the importance of budgetary processes that are participatory and transparent, ensuring that all decisions are made with children's best interests as a primary consideration. There are steps that we can all be taking to harness the power of child rights budgeting. Drawing from General Comment 19, these steps could include establishing tracking and reporting systems to make sure we know how much we're spending on infants, children, and young people, and making sure those children and young people whose rights are at risk are identified and sufficient resources allocated to address their needs. Creating budget lines specifically aimed at improving the lives of infants, children, and young people whose rights are at risk, including making sure that they are shielded from the impacts of any budget cuts when difficult decisions are being made. Involving infants, children, and young people in budget decision-making processes, especially in decisions that directly affect their rights. Together Top Tips. Our Together members created some top tips on child rights budgeting that we included in our State of Children's Rights Report 2022. These include making a clear commitment to ensure adequate human and financial resources are allocated to implement children's rights, working with infants, children, and young people to assess necessary actions and direct budgets to target these issues, prioritising children's rights through commissioning and grants, incorporate a children's human rights approach in all processes, empowering children's participation in budget processes by providing information and training in appropriate language and formats, gathering disaggregated data to identify specific issues and groups whose rights are most at risk, reviewing the impact of budgetary decisions regularly, including with children and young people. This resource was developed as part of the Children's Rights Skills and Knowledge Framework project, funded by Scottish Government. Also available in the series, Rights at Risk, Child Rights Impact Assessments. Visit the Together website for more information, www.togetherscotland.org.uk. Together, the Scottish Alliance for Children's Rights is a Scottish charitable incorporated organisation, SCIO, charity number SCO 29403.